Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays. I got a few movies, just three today. I'm going to show you. I want to kind of highlight from my collection. One of my favorite actors, all-time actors, Lee Marvin. And I have a whole bunch of movies, but I want to spotlight three of them that you should see ASAP if you haven't seen these movies. Now, one of them, he teams up with Chuck Norris. That would be The Delta Force. This came out in 1986. This was probably one of his last movies before he died. You could tell he's aging. He's not, jumping out windows or anything like that. But still, it's good to see Lee Marvin, back then. That's probably one of the first movies I saw with him, next to like the Dirty Dozen and stuff. But he made so many other movies besides the Dirty Dozen. I'll come back to this, but he started out. He was in the Marines, and after the Marines, he I guess settled in somewhere in California, I believe, and started doing theater, and he got discovered. He started showing up in some westerns in the 50s, maybe the 40s, the late 40s, I want to say, maybe in some gangster type movies, and especially some westerns he showed up in. He's in a few Randolph Scott movies, which are really good. 7 Men from Now, that's a good one. Check him out. He plays the bad guy in that one. He's also in a good movie. What is it? Hangman's Knot is really good. It's another Randolph Scott movie with Donna Reed's in it. Really good. He kind of plays the bad guy. He kind of he's the good guy, but he's the bad guy. He's at odds with the leader, which is Randolph Scott. So highly recommend those two westerns. And but yeah, he started doing some like film noir, like playing like the henchman of the gangster guy or something. Movies like The Big Heat from Fritz Lang, 1953. He has a very memorable part in that as as a bad guy. But he was more than just a bad guy. He was more than just he did this scene and stuff. He had flair. He had nuance of it all. He really stood out. As a bad guy, and I think that really what built his reputation and stuff. And he soon got the starring roles in some movies and stuff. But he's I got a lot of movies with him in it. He's done so many good stuff throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, even into the 80s with the Delta Force with Chuck Norris. Really good movie. Highly recommend this. You can't beat it. I'm a kid of the 80s. I'm 44. So, I was about 10 when this came out. So, this was something we saw all the time, like on HBO and stuff like that. So this was on. So I saw this a lot. So, really good movie, action-packed. Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris doesn't like hog all the scenes. Lee Marvin kind of, he's there. They really play off each other a little bit. So, highly recommend you pick up The Delta Force as a later movie of Lee Marvin. To see, because I believe he passed away not long after that. That was in 1986. Let me see here. The next movie, one of my favorite movies, it's a Western action movie. Now, these were starting to become the thing in the mid to late 60s after, Sergio Leone did the Dollars series with Clint Eastwood, the spaghetti Western, kind of spun off in Hollywood I guess you'd call it the revisionist, where they kind of rewrite the Old West a little bit to have more of a edge now, maybe showing the hero who's not so much a hero. He doesn't want to be the hero, but the anti-hero kind of thing. So a lot of revisionist type westerns, you know, with the Wild Bunch and stuff like that. But a very good movie that was made in 1966. It's called The Professionals, directed by Richard Brooks. Stars Burt Lancaster, who I'm a big fan of. You can't go wrong with Burt Lancaster. Lee Marvin, Robert Ryan, Jack Palance, and Ralph Bellamy. Robert Ryan, one of my favorite actors, like with Lee Marvin. He always turns in a great role. Some roles where he lets loose and stuff. He was more than just a character actor. But this is great. They get hired, you know, they're a team, they get put together to rescue a rich banker or a railroad mogul type of guy, or he's some rich banker or something, and he's got this wife who's been kidnapped, or has she been kidnapped by this Mexican bandito, played by Bandito or Bad Dude by Jack Palance, played by Jack Palance, and so they're going in to rescue or get her out of there, and they only got so much time, you know, and they're going in, and you know, one's really good with explosives, one's really good with, you know, he's a good shot, you know, another guy's really good at, you know, this and that. Robert Ryan and Burt Lancaster and Lee Marvin, I believe, they had all been teamed up before. They were partners at one time. It also has a good role of Woody Strode. He's not anywhere mentioned on here, I don't believe. But yeah, Woody Strode is in this. Let me see. I wonder why they just didn't. Yeah, Woody Strode. Yeah, he's on there, but he's very small mention back here. But yeah, he was in it. He would go on, I think, the next year and team up with Sergio Leone when they did Once Upon a Time in the West, and they would team up, and he would be in that. But yeah, they're all like they're this team. You know, they're gonna go in and get her and come out, and really. The cinematography, the direction is just awesome. Keeps it going. Maurice Jarre, his score, the musical score, just really just keeps it going. You know, he's famous for doing Lawrence of Arabia, amongst other things, for Columbia back then. This was a Columbia release. And I'm trying to think is it Conrad Hall who did the photography? Let me see here. God, yeah, Conrad Hall, one of my favorite cinematographers, did the cinematography on this. There's some really good night shots with, you know, got explosions going off and stuff, and they're escaping, and they got it real tracked out, and awesome, just awesome. I first saw that scene in a great documentary from 1992 called Visions of Light. I had the great honor. I was so lucky to go to the movies back in 1992 and see that on the big screen. It was so cool to see all those cool legendary scenes on the big screen. It was such a thrill to me. I was probably 16, 17, 16, something like that back then, and I just loved it. Was great. But yeah, it's got that scene. It's got some really cool scenes in this. Love this movie. I have it on Laserdisc. This is the Blu-ray edition. Love it. Claudia Cardinale, Cardinale, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I just say Claudia Cardinale. But anyways, she's the woman that they rescue. She would also go on to be in Once Upon a Time in the West the next year after this. They would team up. So it's a great movie. It's got some great performances in it. It's a beautiful movie. It's more than just an action movie. I kind of put it next to The Wild Bunch in my favorites. You know, I kind of put it right there because I love it. It's such a good movie to watch over and over again. It's got everything going for it. And Lee Marvin is great in it. And finally, guys, Another movie. This came out in, I want to say, was it 66 or no, 67? This would be the next year, and Lee Marvin would turn in an awesome performance in Point Blank. Now, I believe this was remade with Sylvester Stallone, I believe, in the early 2000s or some. It was remade with him, but it was directed by John Boorman, who made made Deliverance. He would make Deliverance in a few years. Very good director. It's got Angie Dickinson is in it. Carol O'Connor, better known as Archie Bunker. He's in it. He turns in he's kind of the bad guy. Lloyd Buckner, Michael Strong. He's always a good heavy in it. It's based on the novel The Hunter by Richard Stark, and it's a great movie. It's just a revenge, man. It's like they double-crossed him. They thought he was dead, but he wasn't, man. Lee Marvin's going to come back. He's going to get you. You better watch out, because Lee Marvin, man, he's out. He's going to get him, and it's a great movie. Also have this on Laserdisc. Really good. Just the high definition, Blu-ray upgrade. I'm not sure if it's been restored. It may have been cleaned up, because this came out in 2014, so I think they may have done some cleaning up of it. And but it looks great, So yeah, there you go. So you can't go wrong with these. These are just 3 of Lee Marvin's movies that I'm just recommending for my collection. Go out there and see these. The Delta Force, The Professionals. Highly recommend The Professionals. And I can't recommend this enough. Point Blank. Lee Marvin. Excellent director, or actor. He's worked with some of the best directors in the world. He had a good career. And fortunately, he passed away, and we lost a phenomenal actor and stuff. So more than just an action hero. Lee Marvin was a lot more than that. 1967 also with Point Blank. He would also make that year The Dirty Dozen, which would really skyrocket him to the top of the posters. He's now top billed. He's a star now and everything, and that's turned out some great movies from then on throughout the 70s even. So there's still a lot of Lee Marvin I'm discovering still as a fan. So I'm really glad there's still movies out there of his that I can just discover and stuff like that. So when I get some new Lee Marvin, I will definitely make a video and show you guys. I'll spotlight some more movies by Lee Marvin later in another video for sure. But that's about it, guys, for Lee Marvin. I just wanted to highlight some of his super cool movies he's made. Go out there and get those. Also, if you have not already subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notification, and you'll be notified when I let a new video out, and you'll be first to see it. They'll let you know. If you like this, give a thumbs up, and you can always comment. Let me know what you thought about these and how you feel about Lee Marvin. I think he's just stupendous. He's phenomenal. So yeah. So there you go, guys. You guys be safe out there. Watch some good movies, and I will see you again later.